Or, ladies and gentlemen, life is a journey of connections, love, and sometimes painful goodbyes. Or, but one of the most powerful lessons we learn in relationships is that peace is the ultimate victory. And today, I want to share with you how a woman truly feels when she sees that you, her past partner, have moved on, not with bitterness, not with anger, but with peace. When a woman sees a man she once shared her heart with moving on peacefully, her first reaction is often one of deep surprise. Or she might have expected to see him struggling, perhaps even broken, under the weight of past memories. But instead, what she witnesses is calmness, serenity, and acceptance, or which she did not anticipate. This moment strikes her in ways she cannot easily describe because peace is not what she had imagined. Or the surprise comes as a reminder that healing is possible, and the conclusion is that peace is the greatest shock of all. Or this surprise is not only about seeing him move on, but about how gracefully he has embraced his new life. Instead of bitterness or anger, she sees dignity in his demeanor, or which can be unsettling at first. For many, moving on means cutting ties in anger or showing indifference as a form of defense. But when she notices his quiet strength, she cannot help but reflect on what it took to reach that state. In conclusion, surprise becomes the door to admiration for his composure, or her reflection starts as an inward journey, questioning why she is not in the same place of peace. Or she thinks about the choices she made and whether she has also let go in a healthy way. The sight of his peaceful existence becomes a mirror, or reflecting back her own emotional state, making her realize if she is still carrying baggage. Reflection is not always comfortable because it highlights unhealed wounds, yet, it serves a greater purpose. In conclusion, her surprise transforms into self-reflection, forcing her to evaluate her healing journey. The more she reflects, the more she realizes how powerful peace really is. Arguments, tears, and resentment often feel like the natural path after a breakup, but seeing him untouched by negativity shifts her perception. She may wonder if he always had that strength, or if the separation shaped him into someone new. Or this realization can sting, but it also carries lessons. It shows her that growth comes not from holding on, but from letting go. In conclusion, reflection unveils the true strength in peace. Surprise also comes with a sense of curiosity, as she wonders what allowed him to find such peace. Was it time, inner strength, or perhaps a conscious decision to not dwell in the past? This curiosity pushes her to think more deeply about the nature of healing. Unlike anger, peace cannot be faked, it comes from within and is visible in behavior and energy. She sees that peace is not weakness, but power. In conclusion, her curiosity leads to respect for the authenticity of his peace. Reflection can be painful because it forces her to face truths she might have avoided. When she sees him at peace, she compares his state of mind to her own. If she is still stuck in memories, bitterness, or regrets, the contrast becomes more visible. His peace reminds her that she has choices too, either to stay stuck in the past or embrace freedom. The sight of him moving on challenges her to let go of pain. In conclusion, her reflection becomes a call for her own healing. Surprise may also stir emotions of disbelief. She once thought he would never truly let go, or that the bond was too deep to release. Yet watching him live with acceptance breaks those assumptions and makes her realize that everyone has the power to transform. This disbelief eventually turns into acknowledgement, as she cannot deny the evidence of his peaceful life. It reminds her that nothing in life is permanent, not even pain. In conclusion, surprise shatters her illusions and teaches her that peace is always possible. As her reflection deepens, she begins to appreciate the journey he must have taken to reach such peace. Moving on peacefully requires courage, self-control, and forgiveness, both for oneself and for others. She realizes that peace does not come overnight. It is the result of conscious effort and inner growth. Witnessing this in him can spark an awakening in her, reminding her that she too can cultivate peace in her own life. In conclusion, her reflection evolves into admiration for the strength behind his healing. Ultimately, the surprise of his peace and the reflection it stirs within her create a powerful transformation. What begins as shock becomes respect, what begins as discomfort becomes a lesson, and what begins as disbelief becomes acknowledgement. through witnessing his ability to move on with grace, or she finds herself drawn toward a deeper understanding of healing. His peace serves as both a mirror and a teacher, leaving her changed in ways she may not even admit. Or, in conclusion, her surprise and reflection reveal that peace is the most profound influence of all. When a woman sees a man move on peacefully, or one of the strongest emotions she experiences is respect. It is not easy to let go of pain without bitterness, and when he manages to do so, she recognizes his strength. Or respect grows naturally when someone chooses peace over revenge or hatred, because it shows emotional maturity. Even if she once doubted his resilience, or seeing him calm and composed proves otherwise, that realization cannot be ignored. In conclusion, or respect arises because peace is a clear sign of strength and self-mastery that commands silent admiration. Or respect also comes from the way he carries himself without feeling the need to prove anything. Many people seek validation through boasting, blaming, or showing off after a breakup, but when he chooses silence and dignity instead, it shows that he does not need external approval. Or his strength is not displayed through words, but through his steady actions and unshaken presence. This quiet confidence is what earns her respect. In conclusion, or respect is born from the ability to live without seeking validation and allowing peace to speak louder than pride. Or a woman respects a man who refuses to let his past define his future. Instead of clinging to old wounds, he has embraced growth and healing. Or this shows her that he is not trapped in victimhood, but is capable of moving forward with maturity. Many people remain stuck in cycles of blame, but he chose another path. Or that decision highlights his independence and emotional intelligence, which naturally commands admiration. In conclusion, respect is given to those who demonstrate growth, and his ability to move forward proves that strength always outshines bitterness. His strength becomes more evident in how he handles silence. Silence is not emptiness, or it is power when used with purpose. She realizes that he has no interest in gossip, arguments, or proving her wrong, which requires discipline. Choosing not to react, or even when there may have been reasons to, is one of the greatest demonstrations of self-control. This control is what makes him stand tall in her eyes. In conclusion, or respect is rooted in his discipline, because silence in the face of pain is a mark of true strength. Respect is also born from forgiveness. Even if he does not speak it aloud, or his peaceful existence reveals that he has forgiven himself and possibly her as well. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is one of the hardest forms of strength. Or to let go of resentment requires courage and depth of character. She may realize that while she still carries some burdens, he has released his, and that makes her admire him more. In conclusion, respect is the natural result of seeing someone choose forgiveness because it reflects maturity and emotional courage. Or she respects him because peace is rare. In a world where anger and resentment are often louder than calmness, his decision to remain centered sets him apart. Or anyone can lash out in frustration, but few can walk away with grace. That rarity makes his actions remarkable in her eyes, even if she never says it. Or the scarcity of such strength amplifies its value, making her admiration almost inevitable. In conclusion, respect emerges because his peace is not ordinary, or it is extraordinary. In a world where conflict usually takes center stage, respect grows stronger when she sees how he inspires others by his peaceful energy. Or people around him notice his calmness and are drawn to his positive presence. Without even trying, he becomes an example of resilience and strength to those who know his story. Or she sees that his healing has not only benefited him, but also created an atmosphere that uplifts others. That kind of influence is difficult to ignore. In conclusion, or respect becomes deeper because his strength does not only serve him, but also silently inspires the world around him. Or she also respects his refusal to engage in negativity or seek revenge. While it may have been easy for him to expose flaws, argue, or make her feel guilty, he chose the opposite. Or he chose dignity. That choice shows maturity beyond emotion and demonstrates that he values his own peace more than any temporary satisfaction. Or this kind of restraint is powerful because it is not common. In conclusion, respect grows when she sees that he values peace over pettiness, or proving that true strength is measured by self-restraint, not retaliation. ultimately, or the respect she feels is lasting because strength leaves an impression long after emotions fade, or peaceful moving on is not just about letting go of a person but mastering oneself. When she sees his ability to do that, she knows he has achieved something rare, or respect may not always translate into words or gestures, but it lingers in her thoughts. The strength he displayed becomes his legacy in her memory. In conclusion, awe respect remains because strength is timeless and peaceful moving on is the ultimate proof of inner power. Or when a woman sees a man move on peacefully, regret is often one of the first emotions that touches her heart. Or this regret is not always about losing the relationship, but about realizing how she may have underestimated his strength. Or she might remember times when she thought he would never heal or imagined he would remain attached to the past. But now, seeing his calmness, she feels the weight of misjudgment. Or this regret grows stronger because it reminds her that she overlooked his resilience. In conclusion, regret begins when realization uncovers the truths she once ignored. Or regret is also tied to missed opportunities. She may think about the times when she could have nurtured the relationship differently, handled conflicts more maturely, or valued his presence more deeply. His peaceful growth acts as a silent reminder that she may have failed to see the potential in both him and herself. Or this feeling does not always mean she wants him back, but it highlights the loss of what could have been. In conclusion, all regret arises when peaceful moving on reveals the depth of opportunities left unexplored, or her regret often intertwines with the realization that she underestimated the healing power of time and choice, or she may have assumed that he would remain broken or defined by the end of their bond. Instead, his peace shows that healing is not only possible but powerful, or this realization forces her to confront her own misconceptions and the ways in which she may still cling to pain. In conclusion, or regret emerges when she realizes her assumptions were wrong, and his peace proves that growth was always within reach. There is also a deeper kind of regret, or which comes from realizing that she may not have appreciated his true value. When he stood by her, cared for her, or gave her love, she may have taken those gestures for granted. Or now, as she sees him moving on with grace, she recognizes the weight of those moments. The contrast between the past and the present forces her to reflect on her choices. Or, in conclusion, regret intensifies when she finally realizes the importance of what she once dismissed. Regret is not always about him, but about herself, or she realizes that she may have lost the chance to grow alongside someone who chose peace over conflict, or watching him transform into a stronger version of himself shows her what kind of journey she could have taken if she had chosen healing earlier. Or this realization often stings because it places responsibility on her, not on him. In conclusion, regret deepens when she realizes her own missed growth, or as his peace becomes a reflection of what she denied herself. Sometimes regret surfaces in silence when she sees his smile or hears of his accomplishments after the breakup, or each reminder of his progress reinforces that he has not only healed but thrived. She may compare this to her own state, which can intensify the feelings of regret, or realization dawns that his success is not built on bitterness but on acceptance, and that contrast highlights the power of peace. In conclusion, or regret builds when his quiet victories emphasize the strength of letting go and the weakness of holding on. Or her regret may also come with the realization that she has lost the version of herself that he once believed in. He may have seen potential in her, encouraged her, or stood by her flaws. And now that he is gone, she feels the absence of that support. This realization often cuts deep because it reveals how much she depended on his presence. Or the regret is not only for losing him, but for losing the faith he had in her. In conclusion, or regret grows when she realizes she has lost the reflection of herself he once provided. As she reflects on her regret, or she cannot ignore the realization that peace is the ultimate form of closure. Seeing him happy without her forces her to acknowledge that she no longer has a place in his life. Or this can be painful, yet it also provides clarity. The regret she feels is paired with the realization that she has no control over his healing and no power over his happiness. Or, in conclusion, regret crystallizes when realization teaches her that peace means finality, and finality means true separation. Ultimately, or regret and realization walk hand in hand, shaping her perception of the past and the present. She regrets what is lost, but she also realizes that loss was inevitable once peace entered his life. His calmness teaches her lessons she might have learned too late, yet those lessons still have value. Or the regret may remain, but the realization pushes her toward her own healing. In conclusion, regret and realization together remind her that peace is powerful, and losing it is the cost of not valuing it when it was near. When a woman sees that a man has moved on peacefully, one of the most unexpected feelings she may experience is relief, this relief comes from the realization that the tension and silent battles that once existed between them no longer define their connection, she no longer has to worry about confrontations, judgments, or unresolved arguments that could resurface. His peace signals that the storms have passed, and life can move forward without chaos. In conclusion, relief emerges when she realizes the weight of conflict has lifted and peace has taken its rightful place. Relief also comes from knowing that she no longer has to carry guilt about his well-being. If she once feared he would remain broken or unable to recover, his peaceful healing removes that burden. She sees him thriving, smiling, and creating a new chapter for himself, which eases the pressure she silently carried. Instead of worrying about his pain, she can focus on her own journey. In conclusion, relief grows when his peace reassures her that he has found stability, freeing her from the shadows of guilt or responsibility. There is a deeper sense of closure that arrives with his peaceful moving on. Closure is often hard to find because many people seek it through conversations or external validation. Yet when she sees his serenity, she understands that closure has already been created through acceptance. This realization allows her to stop questioning the what ifs and maybes that once haunted her. His peace shows that the story has reached its natural end. In conclusion, closure arrives when she accepts that his calmness marks the final chapter of their shared history. Relief is tied to the absence of hostility, many relationships end with bitterness, leaving behind a residue of anger that follows both people. But his choice to move forward without negativity changes that narrative. She no longer fears hidden resentment or the possibility of being blamed, which eases her mind. By refusing to carry anger, he also releases her from carrying it. That absence of hostility creates space for mutual respect. In conclusion, relief becomes stronger when she sees that peace has dissolved anger, allowing both to walk away with dignity. Closure also means freedom. His peaceful state reflects that he is free from emotional entanglements, which indirectly grants her freedom as well. She realizes that she no longer has to measure her life against his or feel the invisible tie of unfinished business. This freedom benefits them both, even if it feels bittersweet. Knowing that he has let go enables her to let go too without resistance. In conclusion, closure becomes freedom when peace replaces attachment and both hearts are finally unchained from the weight of the past. Relief often shows up in the way she can now remember the past without as much pain. His peace gives her permission to recall the good memories without being overshadowed by bitterness. Because he is not stuck in anger, she can honor their shared history without guilt or resentment. This creates a healthier perspective on what they once had, she can appreciate it for what it was without being burdened by what it became. In conclusion, relief grows when peaceful closure allows her to view the past with balance instead of regret. Closure also carries the power of acceptance. When she sees him settled and calm, she cannot deny that their story has truly ended. This can be painful, but it is also liberating. Acceptance may not arrive immediately, but his peace leaves her with no illusions to hold on to. She sees the truth plainly: he has moved on. That acceptance, though difficult, finally allows her to begin her own journey forward. In conclusion, closure becomes complete when she accepts his peace as proof that the past is truly behind them. Relief arises from the recognition that peace does not mean erasure but transformation. His peaceful moving on does not erase what they once shared but transforms it into a closed chapter that no longer carries heaviness. or this perspective helps her understand that endings can be graceful rather than destructive. She sees that separation does not always have to leave scars sometimes, or it leaves lessons. His healing gives her a new way to frame their story. In conclusion, or relief takes root when she realizes peace transforms the past into wisdom instead of wounds. Ultimately, or the feelings of relief and closure intertwine to give her a sense of calm. She may not have expected it, but seeing him at peace provides her with the clarity and acceptance she needs. Relief lightens her heart, and closure anchors her future, or teaching her that both can coexist without bitterness. His healing indirectly becomes hers, because peace is contagious. What began with pain ends with understanding. Or, in conclusion, relief and closure stand as the final gifts of peaceful moving on, leaving behind dignity, freedom, and silent healing for them both.